Lord of the Rings is one of the most beloved movie trilogies ever made. These movies have been a staple in our culture for the past 20 years, and most cinemas show these movies still to this day. I recently managed to relive the story on the big screen, and it got me thinking, if LOTR is so popular, and there's a new show on the horizon, why hasn't LEGO done a comeback? For the theme, they still have the license, so why not do anything with it? Hi, I'm Brixton Kyber, and join me as I discuss how realistically LEGO Lord of the Rings would come back. Now, I say realistically, so I'll explain what I mean. Basically, two huge themes that have returned in recent years are LEGO Harry Potter and LEGO Indiana Jones. So I analyzed the first wave of the sets with their comeback to craft what I think would be the most realistic LEGO Lord of the Rings sets. In the end, I came to the conclusion that LEGO Lord of the Rings would most likely have a big wave in June with 5 sets and 2 sets in August, and 1 D2C set. So, let's take a look at the sets. The first set of July wave is a $20 set from the new show. I would imagine that of course we would, if the theme would come back, we would of course get sets of the classic movies, but of course the main drive would be the sets from the new show, as that's the most recent production. So I have a $20 set from the new show. I haven't seen the show, it hasn't been out yet, so I can't really have any predictions, but it would probably be something with Galadriel, as she seems to be the focus on the show. After that, I have a $25 set, and this is actually from the Lord of the Rings movies. I decided to have at least one set from each of the 3 movies, and this set right here is Treebeard himself, and I would imagine this would be a $25 set. It would just have one big posable Treebeard, similar to how we get these Marvel mechs now, with like Iron Man, Spider-Man and Venom, and the figures included here I would imagine would be Merry Pippin, and also an orc, just for some play. The next set is a $35 set, and this one I went for Shelob's Lair. So it's basically a remake of the classic set, except this one would be maybe a bit more bigger. I would imagine there would be a bit more scenery, but the figures would stay the same: Frodo, Sam, and Gollum. Then we have more bigger sets, and we have a $70 set from the new show, as I imagine there would be also cheap sets and also expensive sets from the new show. And the $70 set, this one I can actually try to predict. Apparently there will be a lot of Moria in the new show, and even Elrond will go to Moria, so I would imagine this $70 playset to be a Moria playset. And lastly, from the July wave, we have the $100 flagship set, and this one, of course, I went for a Fellowship of the Ring set, so we get each one set from each movie for this first wave. And for Fellowship, I went of course for the Amon Hen battle, and the figures included would be Aragorn, Frodo, Boromir, two Uruk-hais and Lurtz, and this would be just a massive playset featuring the Amon Hen structure itself, and I would imagine a couple of trees, and I'm not sure if this will be too dark or something, but maybe that field where Boromir has his sacrifice. But then, again, I said there would be probably 2 more sets in August, and for the August wave I have a $40 Warg attack set from the 2 towers. It would feature 2 wargs and 2 orcs, Legolas on a horse, and Gimli. And this would I also imagine be a retail exclusive, so probably a Lego shop at home. And the final set of this entire wave is a $50 set from the new show, and this is, again, I can only predict, but I'm predicting it would be the boat from the trailers, which Galadriel is on, as a $50 price. Makes sense for a boat, as the for Love and Thunder boat was also $50. So I think this would make sense. And then in September we would most likely get a D2C. Now for this D2C, I thought about a few options. There is of course options like Helm's Deep, Rivendell, but I think the best one would be a diorama style set, like the dioramas Lego make for Star Wars and Jurassic Park. A diorama style set of Bag End, and it would include Bilbo, Gandalf, Frodo, and Sam, And just because we don't have really any Hobbit sets, we have only Lord of the Rings sets, in this set I would include a second figure selection with young Bilbo, Thorin, Dwalin, and Balin, so you can have both the Lord of the Rings version of the Hobbit hole and then a Hobbit version with the dwarves. And I think this would really be a top tier set, most likely, if they featured the same detail that they have put into the Star Wars dioramas and Jurassic Park. I mean, if this is 180, as that's what I imagine the price would be, and the Jurassic Park was 100 and had so much stuff, then I think this would be really a perfect set. And because it's a D2C, there would be a promo with it, and for the promo, I would have had Gandalf's firework cart. I think that would just fit in perfectly with the bag end set. And a cool thing that you can realize with all these sets is that you actually get the entire Fellowship of the Ring if you get all of the sets from Lord of the Rings, which I think is a big plus and something I wanted to achieve, as that's something that they did in the first Lord of the Rings wave. And all in all, I thought would be just a fun idea. With the show coming around from Lord of the Rings, I think it would be fun to take a look at what sets maybe we will get. And there's still a chance that we could get Lord of the Rings sets next year, as Lego still has the license, first of all, and second of all, next year is the 20th anniversary of the entire trilogy, as this year was Two Towers, last year it was Fellowship of the Ring, but next year it will be Return of the King, which means the entire trilogy as a whole, as that was the ending. So hopefully we will at least get maybe one D2C, that would be really amazing, but if we were to get a wave like this, I mean, that would be just perfect. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little speculation and thoughts video, I guess, whatever you want to call it, and if you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye!